special edition Cue the Chaos podcast. It is your favorite eyewitness, Alex Hines. And I'm here with the man of the hour, the very mysterious, always messy, none other than Marcus.
Thank you, I guess.
How have you been, Marcus?
I've been okay. I've not been on the internet, clearly.
Because the internet's looking for you. I've been on the internet, and the internet still is looking for you.
No, I've been busy living my real life. So
this is your real life now.
Unfortunately.
People who are non-reality stars see it as entertainment until you become a reality star, and you're like, it's actually a part of your life now.
Oh, yeah. It's been a crazy, 2.5 weeks. Yeah, It's been crazy.
This is the reality of this is the part of reality when the cameras stop rolling, but your life is still now a public spectacle.
Exactly.
So
Yes. I see. I'm actively in it, trust me.
So I think there's a lot of things that a lot of people want to know.
Okay.
And I think the start of it's really just been like, are you ready to talk about everything? People want to know what's your opinion on everything. You know, I put out the story times on TikTok, which has garnered a lot of questions. And I mean, people just want to know, what do you think about all of it? Where are you at? Just catch everybody up since we last saw you on the season finale a week ago.
Well, let me first say this, is that, I know, Alex, you got a lot of traction with that story time, and I did not know Alex was going to do that. And I wasn't privy to the story time before y'all saw it either.
Nope, I just posted it.
He just posted it.
I went, upload.
I told Alex this too, that I do think we have a difference of opinion on how I interpreted things. What we don't disagree upon is it was messy as hell. So we don't disagree upon that. But yeah, I mean, I think I'm ready to talk through a lot of things that people have questions about and give them the true answers that maybe they weren't able to see on the show, or if they didn't see the statement I posted on Twitter, they might be missing some context behind how everything actually happened.
Okay. So let's dive right in. And I think we should just open it up with Cooking with Kelli. Who sent you there? And why were you already mic'd is what everybody keeps asking me.
Well, let's just start with the last thing you said. So, Alec, you and I were at the event together. I was not mic'd at all by production. Production didn't even know who I was at that point. We weren't invited guests of Kelli's publicist, Lamont. So I think we've already shown that we had email confirmation and inviting us to attend the event and confirming we would be there and giving us the time we need to be there and telling us we'd have to sign any releases to be on the show if they chose to air that scene.
Okay, so I put that break in there in case Sam can edit this out or edit it in, just depending on how we go forward. So I don't think that Kelli, and I do think that this is an honorable mention to put in there, that there was no malicious intent behind the event, the invite from Kelli. I think to kind of put another layer into it. Marcus is big in the restaurant industry here in Atlanta. Marcus does things all the time, promoting different softwares and companies and restaurants. He's really big. So for him to be invited by Kelli, someone who also is in the restaurant industry, I do not think that there was any malicious intent there on Kelli's part or anything. They just both happened to actually be in the same industry, which is how we ended up in the same room. So I think that's very important to note.
Thank you for clarifying that. And I think that's a fair assessment of everything that Alex said, is that, Atlanta is a small community when it comes to certain different business ventures or avenues, and the restaurant industry is one of those. So that's all it is. There's no conspiracy, y'all, I promise.
Can you turn me down a little bit? Just a tinge bit? There we go. Okay, great.
Is that better?
That's perfect.
Okay.
Oh, that's a little too much.
Too much?
Right there. Okay, perfect.
Right there?
Perfect. That's perfect.
Okay, good.
Hello.
Okay.
Ooh, never have.
Never have.
I think, and then to the first part of it, who sent you? Who sent you? Who sent you? Who sent you?
Can we really talk about it, Alex? Can I tell you who sent me?
Who sent you, Marcus?
It was a man, and his name is Don Julio.
Let me tell you, we did have those margaritas ahead of time.
Yes.
But no. So, in all seriousness, no one sent you.
No.
We were clearly invited solely through Kelli's publicist because this was an hospitality industry event. And you were not mic'd. Production had no clue who you were.
Correct. Okay. At that time, they did not know me at all from a fly on the wall.
Mm-hmm. But by the time we left that evening, they sure as hell knew who you were.
Yes, no, that is very true. Very, very true. Yes.
So we see all of that happen and play out, and of course, people were not too happy about that. But then, of course, in my story time, the kind of next big thing that a lot of people keep asking me about is Drew's involvement in this. Because, after story time, after Kelli's event happens, and the next day, we're at the restaurant, and I think we both thought, that was it. It was just going to be that wild moment, and that was the end of all of this.
Correct.
And then we get a phone call at the restaurant, and then the hostess looks over and she's like, hey, Drew Sidora's on the phone. Let's talk about that, because a lot of people want to know how is messy Drew tied into all of this. So let the people know, because you talked to Drew. I didn't talk to Drew at all outside of the coffee show.
Correct. So. Yes. I think that if we're being honest, and maybe we can break the fourth wall here a little bit, I think it was a production setup for they were like, hey, we don't know who this guy is. We only have this info, but clearly there's something there. And we need somebody on the cast to reach out to him to now develop a connection.
Okay.
And I think Drew was an easy one based on what we've seen from the season, is that Drew and Angela had a friendship.
So that's all there was with Drew. Drew was just being Angela's messy minion.
I think that was how it started.
On behalf of production.
I think that's how it started.
You think that's how it started. So
yes.
You are confirming that it developed to more. I mean, I'm not going easy on you, Marcus. The people want to know.
I think that Drew definitely and Angela had a agenda that we didn't know about. And I say that because Drew made it well known for me that she did not like Phaedra as well, and that Angela didn't like Phaedra.
Now, hold on. Now, that's tea, because I don't think you ever shared that with me.
I didn't.
Drew didn't like Phaedra?
No, and she actually said a specific thing to me is we worked too hard for our check to give some of it up to her.
I'm sorry, was this in tape? Bitch, does this need to go? Wait a minute! This sounds like something that need to be in my next story time!
This was not in text, unfortunately, but I am putting everything on that. That was a true statement she said.
Interesting.
Yeah, and I think that it kind of, again, aligns with if you've been watching the season, at the second to last, episode, Phaedra locked Drew out of her event, and they have this whole thing, and so...
I forgot about that. I didn't even read that. Because when we were in the coffee shop, and the phone got passed around, and they saw it, they were so excited for it to be her. And I said that. I said the whole tone changed. And I'm like, I'm sorry, am I missing cue cards or something? It just changed. And they were so giddy. And after that, I'm telling y'all, after he put that name on that phone, y'all would have thought Drew, Angela, and Marcus were just besties hanging out for the last 15 years.
Hold on. See, this is where the disagreement happens, because you did have a little moment there with Drew as well after all that happened.
I called her a dog and she didn't pick it up.
No, but besides that, she then said, y'all bought it on the right team. And then you said, well, this is the right team. Here we are. We were both leaning into the comedy of it.
At that moment, I had no clue what was going on. I was still trying to figure out who sent us.
But I think we both were leaning into the comedy of it, just because you're correct. The entire shift of the entire energy of everybody there shifted to 180. Immediately.
Completely shifted.
But I want you to understand, me being there as well, I also recognized it just like you did. And I was like, what does this mean? You literally wanted to kill me 3 seconds ago.
And now we're besties.
So I was just trying to pick
wild.
it up. Yeah.
Child, I was like, honey, maybe this is how they shoot this show over here. Over there on TLC, we don't do this. So I was like, let me just keep up and let me pretend like I'm here with it. Because, baby, I had no clue. I was lost.
But yes, no, I
was just lost. I was lost like Portia with the Underground Railroad. I was like, what? So how do people get in the train?
No, I think that, like I said, I believe that, potentially that Angela and Drew had their own narrative they were trying to push outside of what I knew, outside of what you knew. So.
Okay. So I think that leads into... I think at that point, that's kind of where, of course, you guys know, then I try to reach out to Phaedra, going through a trillion different points of contact before I was able to get in touch with her. And I think a lot of people keep asking, like, where we differed in all of that. And that's the part that I think is the most pivotal in this story. Because, again, like I said, when we were in the coffee shop, it was... told to us very specifically that our backgrounds have been investigated and they knew exactly who we were. And again, like I said, I was like, okay, well, I mean, you probably didn't have to look too hard into my background or to find me because, already have been in the public before, and on television before. Obviously, anything too crazy would have already been out there. So I just thought that this was an idle threat. And then again, in story time, I do tell you guys, I felt like she didn't turn her attention specifically to Marcus and kept doubling down on the background. So I think at this point, this is where he was willing to go along with Angela wanting to make this Phaedra, because in my opinion, again, he didn't want, of course, the things that have now come out to come out. And whereas I was like, girl, what the hell? What is going on, bitch? I don't know you or Phaedra. So I think that's where this kind of split started a year ago when we were like, oh my gosh, I'm gonna go tell Phaedra. And he was like, no, Phaedra sent me, even though she did not. However, since Angela clearly went ahead and released those things, we're just gonna go ahead and release everything and, put all the truth out there. Like I said, Angela strong-armed him. You guys saw if you haven't seen part 5, go watch part 5, where it shows Angela's text messages to her security guard, making sure that he understood what she was talking about. So, that's what caused us to have kind of a difference in this whole situation. And now I think I'll let Marcus speak to how he, felt at that point in all of this.
Well, I think that I'll say 2 things. I did feel bad about saying Phaedra's name. And I did express that to you. And I think you and I were definitely on the same page with that. Like, we didn't like that and we didn't think that was okay. I think where you're right, we did differ at, is I did feel indebted to Angela at this point to continue on this narrative where you were like, I don't think this is the right move. I think we need to actually probably let Phaedra in on this and let them decide the next thing, right? So that is definitely where the difference of opinion with you and I came in that situation. And yeah, I definitely think that Angela drew together all the pieces she could to make this make sense. As we've already said before, some of my family members did go to school with Phaedra and Phaedra's brother and Nene. And, you have family through your wife who have or did reside at Athens. So I think they took those small details, and I call them small because that's literally what it is.
Absolutely.
And tried to make it a thing. Myself nor Alex and I are from Athens. I didn't grow up in Athens. I grew up in Gwinnett County. My dad's military. That's my background.
I had never been to Athens prior to 2021. I had never been to Athens prior to that.
Yeah. But yeah, that's where my family's from. Clearly I lived down there for a while. It's not unreasonable to say that I have roots there, but that we're both from there and we knew and we were in on this big conspiracy. That's a lot what I've seen Angela say online, that it was a conspiracy against her. And I'm wondering if Andrew's like a big fan of the X-Files. Like, that's what it's giving.
And like, let's also talk about the fact that Athens ain't that small of a town.
No.
Like, everybody's like, oh, Athens is so small. Y'all keep making it seem like Athens is
like
just
130,000 people that live there.
Right. It's not like a one-horse town.
The biggest college in the state.
Like, and I'm like, why does everybody, it's such a small, everybody knows everybody. No, they don't. Like, Athens is not that small.
No.
My family comes from a small one-horse town called Isola, Mississippi, where it's like 89 people is the whole town. And that's my entire family. So, like, y'all be talking about small town where everybody does. No, that's not a small town. Athens is a bustling city compared to, like, my family's, like, roots.
Yeah, no.
So that was just, so I just wanted to put that out there. And then also, there was something else you touched on. I don't know. It might come back to me. If it does, well, I'll definitely circle back around to it.
Okay.
Another big thing that probably should have started with is, are we under NDAs? People keep asking, are we under NDAs? Are we under NDAs? Are we under NDAs? So I am not under an NDA. I have not signed anything outside of the initial release that I had to sign when I showed up to be in the background with Cooking with Kelli. That general release allowed them to use anything that after that I had filmed without having to pay me, without having to do anything, because I had signed to agree to be in the background. But I was not under an NDA because I had, at that time, no pertinent information. So everything that I'm saying, I'm completely allowed to say. Now, Marcus, are you under an NDA?
I plead the fifth.
So, there you have it.
Yeah. I mean, I think, there you have it.
So.
But there are obviously certain things I can't talk about, and those are the things I want to make sure get addressed, so people aren't left in the dark about it. Because I will say this, the show, if I'm looking at it from a viewer perspective, it has been entertaining. I think it's funny. I think the June bug of it all was funny. I think the envelope was
funny. Who the hell is Junebug? Because people keep putting on my video, am I a Junebug? I am not Junebug.
You probably could be a Junebug.
I would be Ladybug.
No, Junebug is just an old Southern name for like an uncle or cousin who, you just call them up when you need some. Call Junebug. Like this is just a whole country thing.
Junebug is a real person, or Junebug is
everybody's cousin. Everybody's uncle.
So you're just trying to say Junebug like Kooking in it?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Yeah. Everybody got a Junebug in their family.
Okay. So you did not meet up with somebody at Phipps Plaza with a scarf around their hair and some big old shades that dropped an envelope that you picked up that had unmarked bills in it?
No, I did not.
Okay.
And I'm actually about to spill some tea on Alex right now.
Oh my gosh.
So people don't understand that conversation that everybody heard on the phone with me and Angela, the very AI doctored one that she posted out. Good job, Angela. That was the second phone call at 3 that Angela and I had. We had a first initial phone call, which was like 6 or 7 minutes. We also had another phone call after that where she was going back and forth with me on the receipts that I sent her that she was going to present at the finale. So, I will just say, when you watch the finale and you see me say the Godfather comment, and then immediately after I leave the scene, you then see Angela say the Godfather comment.
The quote, I was like...
That probably didn't happen by happenstance, y'all. That probably happened from a cast member from season 16 of the Real Housewives of Atlanta. We won't say any name, because, but...
Allegedly.
I'm sure allegedly y'all can put together the details.
All of this is allegedly.
Yeah, of course. So...
Who's got time for lawsuits? So I think that's another big thing. People keep asking, is Marcus being sued? Am I being sued? Are we suing anybody? I will let you answer that.
I have not been served any legal documents on the multiple times that Angela has said that from what y'all have seen and haven't seen. So
I have not been in receipt of any legal documents either. I do come from a very litigious background, though. So I do know that they looked into my background. I don't know if they looked into anybody else around me, but that's what they do. So we'll just see that.
I heard the same.
So,
yes. Yeah.
You know, so I am very litigious. Honey.
Are you ready?
I mean, hello. Do you not know who my in-laws are?
No, I know. Yeah.
I'm kind of already ready just by happenstance. So, but no. I also keep a great entertaining attorney right there on a retainer. So there's no lawsuits. I mean, she's probably just trying to secure herself another season. But it's like, girl, you've already done that. Angela, you have secured seasons 17 and 18 at this point.
So I guess the next thing we can kind of touch base on is the finale, Alex, because you guys didn't see it on television, but Alex was very much a big part of the finale and had a couple of incidents with Angela and Charles that didn't make it on air.
They did not.
And probably for the best of them. Because I think that everybody that was at the finale was genuinely shocked at Angela's behavior the entire time.
Mm-hmm.
She was very combative. She was
spiraling. Angela was calling everyone outside of their names.
Yes.
Angela, that it was not this sweet, soft-spoken together Angela. That unraveling Angela y'all saw for 2.5 seconds. That trust me.
Yeah.
Voice cracking Angela. That was Angela the entire
night.
Like when I tell you, Angela was spiraling, and she should be thanking the Bravo gods that they gave her the edit that they gave her.
She should, yeah.
Angela was spiraling and hurling insults and threats, and Charles as well was throwing the threats. I mean, me and Charles got into it. Charles throws me out. Charles, I've seen this actually a lot on the story times. Charles threw me out because it was close to the end of the actual ceremony. I go back outside into the cocktail hour, and I have receipts for this too, you guys, so don't play with me. While I'm outside in the cocktail hour, there are some kids, some young guys who come over, and they're like, oh my gosh, and keep in mind, it's the cocktail hour, so everything had the lights. There's still camera people, production crew. You can tell we're shooting a show. These young guys come up to me, and they're like, oh, are they shooting a show over there? And I was like, yeah, it's just some reality show. In the midst of me talking to them, Charles Oakley walks out. And again, these are some kids who were here for a basketball tournament. So they immediately recognize him and they start yelling, oh, come over. Charles does come over, and then he starts cussing these kids out. Like, I'm telling you, he's just like, why the fuck are y'all talking to me?
He's like, y'all so loud.
Move
away.
Y'all supposed to be in bed anyways. How old is y'all? It was a lot. And there was an F-bomb was like, I feel like every other word.
Yeah.
And then, yes, Marcus walks by in the midst of all of this happening, coming from the bathroom or going to the bathroom. And, then all of a sudden, I'm like, Charles, chill out. These are, your fans. They want pictures with you. And this nigga look at me and goes, who the fuck are you? And why the fuck are you talking to me? First of all, I'm not even going to say what I said, because since it didn't make it on camera, we just don't make that out to be God's good grace in the edit for everybody. But it was some back and forth, and Charles throws me out, and then I guess I told you guys, actually, I think I skimmed through that, and then that's the only time production stopped them from actually throwing me out. But then when I come back up, me and Angela get into it, and Drew claims to not know me. I mean, it was just it was a mess. It was so funny because when it all was over, I go to call my sister and I was like, oh my God, it was like something out of the Real Housewives. And then I was like, wait, it was the Real Housewives. That's how wild it was. I was like, it was something out of the Real Housewives.
Yeah.
I was like, wait a minute. It actually was the Real Housewives.
Yeah, it was crazy.
It was crazy.
It was. And
even Justin Diego, Bingeworthy went on record and said that he's glad that they edited the finale to be unserious because of how crazy and serious it was.
Yeah.
I would say our finale was very on par with jersey. That like christening or something. Like it was the finale. The gala was really dark, so they did edit it in a much lighter capacity.
Yes, which I'm definitely glad about. What do you attribute that to?
All of the other things that had happened in the season.
Okay.
All the lawsuit happening before we got to the finale, the Kenya Brit drama, the Brit lawsuit, the Kenya Brit drama, just the fact that the season had been on pause with them trying to figure everything out. Simon cease and desisting them left and right, and I mean, as you know about the season, then there was another cease and desist from Charles and Angela that we actually never talked about.
We never talked about that.
We never talked about that.
Well. Okay, so we're going to bring it up. Let's just say it. So people have said that the finale felt rushed, right? Like they didn't feel like it ended on a note that made sense, correct?
Because there was more filming after the finale.
So production reached out to me and Alex and did want us to film some more for the rest of the season to wrap everything up that was said at the finale. And this is months and months later. So from what we understand is that Charles and Angela got word of that and immediately shut it down, correct?
Shut it down so that way you guys would not know the truth of it all. So that's why so many of you guys are like, the finale didn't make sense. It was edited weird because I think to have had me in there, it would have raised more questions, and then they were not able to get on camera the resolve that they wanted.
Yes.
So that's why you really don't see me on the season.
Yes.
Because I would have because as y'all see, when I open this big ass mouth, honey, it just raises questions. And they was like, honey, just edit his little black ass out because we ain't got time because people are going to want to know. But the people still want to know because I still open my mouth anyways. So.
Yeah.
Sorry, Andy.
But so what do you think the reason was those additional episodes did not get filmed?
I mean, that is. We already know. There is no questions. I mean, we flat out know. We were told, hey, this isn't happening because of the cease and desist. Like, we're just not going to be enough time to get everything done.
But why do you think they cease and desist, though?
Because they didn't want the truth. This truth that I went on TikTok and told was about to be... I mean, granted, even though my TikTok did numbers, I mean, just imagine if this was on the show and they got who knows how many more episodes to make all of this make sense. It would have, Angela wouldn't have gotten to walk away with an on-camera perfect season. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, I think she was really just wanting to protect her image. I think she really wanted to come in and be like, first season home run newbie. And I just really think I fucked that up for her.
Mm-hmm.
And it's solely because she called me a faggot. And I also want to bring out the fact that I keep seeing people say that I was talking shit about her online at the gala before she called me a faggot.
Mm-hmm.
That is 100% true. I was talking shit before she called me a faggot, but we were already at the gala. Because at that point, she had already doubled and tripled and quadrupled down on trying to pin this on Phaedra. And I was like, bitch, you know Phaedra ain't had nothing to do with this, so I didn't like her at that point. So that's why I was talking shit at the gala. Not that it was correct, because it was for charity and they did an amazing thing. So I will say that was tacky, but that was my reasoning in already talking shit. It was solely because, girl, how you trying to blame this on somebody else? Living in
Yeah.
So see how I just lived in my truth? That's all you have to do. That's all you have to do.
Yes. So do you also, well, I'll say this. Again, I tried to distance myself from social media, doing a cleanse, not getting so into the everything of it because it was a lot.
I'm not at me.
I know.
At me, I'm right.
But the one thing I definitely have seen is that Angela's daughter had been responding to a lot of comments about you, about me, saying she's part of the LGBTQ plus community and that, you know, her family has never felt that way about anybody in our community.
So here's all I'm gonna say in regards to that.
Yeah.
And this is a very loud and clear message to everybody over there at Team Oakley.
Mm-hmm.
You have already seen what I have posted with proof and receipt.
Mm-hmm.
You have no clue what else I'm still sitting on.
Yeah.
So let's not make me go there because the receipts that I have from other housewives in support, I could have already posted, but have chosen not to keep those housewives out of it. But please believe there are receipts.
Yeah.
Not to mention, there are some other receipts of somebody else over there using some slurs.
Very true.
So, like, we just don't, all I'm going to say towards her daughter coming at me constantly on social media is, baby girl, you got less screen time than Marcus, so I'm just going to leave you over there with the rest of those people. Okay? She got less screen time than you, girl. Girl, you didn't even tell your mama you got married because you didn't tell your mother you got married because you knew. So first of all, and then we're gonna drive into that because I got a sister who jumped up and got married to a man and didn't tell my mama.
Yeah.
Because she knew my mother would not approve of that man.
Of course.
And that's the only time you go and get married in secret is when you know somebody ain't going to approve. Because guess who was at my wedding? My mama, my daddy, my grandmama, my mother-in-law, my father-in-law would have been there, but since he was dead, we did it in the courtroom that was his because he was a judge.
Wow.
Our siblings were there, nieces, nephews, grandparents, everybody. All of our family was there.
Yeah.
Because it was a union that we wanted to share with the people that we love.
Exactly.
Because that's what you do unless you're afraid of the backlash or the way somebody's going to respond to your partner.
No, I 1,000% agree. So I think that's what it needs to be said.
I think that's what needs to be said. Do we have any other questions out here? Let me see. People also keep asking about the TLC show.
Oh my God.
And my ex.
How did that have a resurgence all of a sudden?
So, for any of you who don't know,
yes,
I was on a TLC show called You, Me, and My Ex that focused on me dating my current and now wife. And at the time, I was still really close friends with my ex-boyfriend. Me and my ex, we are still friends. We are not close. I mean, it's been years. I've got kids. Life has happened. But we did 2 seasons of that show. We are on every episode. We are main characters. So that's why everybody who's like, oh, you're looking for a TV moment. No, I have a TV moment, had a TV moment, understood how the TV moment goes. That's why, again, in all my screenshots and correspondence, I was like off camera, off camera, off camera. But yeah, so no, that was like a whole thing. Again, in the story time, I tell you guys that I didn't touch on this in the story time. I met Marcus initially when Marcus was a couple years ago dating my roommate at the time. So fast forward on the show that I'm on, Marcus and my ex started dating, and I find out on camera, and you guys see that play out on camera. But it's not like, oh, me and Marcus are on a show together, and we're just trying to go from show to show. No, Marcus appeared on the show that I was on because Marcus is messy.
Well, in that actual episode, if you see it, I wasn't initially trying to be messy. Again, I think I try to tell everybody I am a lightweight.
He is.
So when I started drinking all the champagne that Alex had, because it was the only thing provided at this motherfucking party, bitch, the food budget was zero.
Baby, sorry, Brent, I love you, girl, but I had a Brent moment, baby. Honey, the only people that was getting food was me. My baby.
Like, I was just like, I guess I'll have more champagne and a cake pop.
I was about to say, I had cake pops, chocolate covered strawberries, and champagne. I ain't had no food. I was like, y'all better get this liquor out.
So after 5 hours of no food, I was drunk as hell, and I just started saying shit.
It's like, oh my God. And then I will also note that he did, I think, thought we were done filming because Marcus does wait to tell me all of this about him and my friend dating at the end of
It was at the end of it was the last 45 minutes of the event, literally.
That then turned it into like a whole other 3 hours.
But yes.
But yeah, so no. It's not like we were just out here going from show to show, looking for a moment. And also, RHOA is such a classic show that I think if we were ever going to be on the show or expect to be on the show, this is not what we would want our introduction to the viewership or being on the show to be like, because this has been a very tumultuous ride.
God.
So it was never meant to happen, I feel like, in this way.
Yeah.
It was never meant to turn into all of this in this way. I feel like, I don't think any of this was what was expected to happen with Marcus.
Said what I said.
We just need Marcus to not drink.
And yeah, I mean, no, I agree. It's definitely been a crazy ride. I think the thing that's been, I guess, like the most frustrating is like Angela's bots and the bloggers that are just posting fake news or saying things that aren't true. Like, I think, on the last podcast, I addressed some things that had already came out. I was a teenager at the time. I was still trying to find myself. I wasn't the confident 38-year-old man I am now. This was 20 years ago almost, so I think that's been frustrating, and seeing the lies and all that. And then, just people not understanding how it works. Oh, I'm a production plant. I was mic'd every time you saw me on camera.
Were you even mic'd at the finale?
Was I mic'd at the finale?
Because that's what I was telling people. I was like, I think we were only mic'd at the cafe.
I can't remember. Possibly.
They might have pulled you at some point and mic'd you.
I think they might have pulled me and mic'd me. When you seen me, because there was so much filming that happened that didn't make it on the show. So when I walked into the scene with Drew, we had already been filming for a while, just me and Drew. Giovanna was there.
That bitch from CAU?
Yes, from CAU. I'm sad that didn't make it. Like, there was a lot of filming that was happening initially, and I don't think initially I was mic'd. And then leading into when I go into the girls, I think they cooled me.
Yeah. Because that is another thing, you guys. They will pull a person and mic them, like, in the middle of a scene. So, like, they will, like, pan the camera to the person they're talking to and be like, throw this microphone on real quick.
Yes.
And then sit your ass right back down.
Literally.
So, like, I mean, we were not production plans. We were not Phaedra plant. Marcus was just messy, and honey, I was along for the ride. I was along for the ride. I was an innocent bystander who enjoyed the drama. Because I be seeing y'all being like, oh, you was acting like you was so innocent. Look, I am 100% an innocent bystander. However, it's kind of like, it's like if you live in an apartment building and your neighbors is like in the hallway getting into it, you not gonna not listen to see what they get into it about. You know what I mean?
I did have to lie though. I was like, damn, Alex over here said a message Angela, and then a message Phaedra, and then a message this person. I was like, bitch, Captain Save a Ho, sit the fuck down.
I was like, but like what people, I don't think people really understand is like, honestly, from my television background, I have worked in so many different avenues of seeing this behind the scenes, in front of it. And when they started asking for, the security camera footage and all that, I really thought that they were trying to paint a really negative image of Angela and Charles. Because I had known that they had shot the whole season where everybody was like, girl, your man cheating on you.
We definitely thought, I would say this, me and Alex were definitely on the same page with all our thoughts. I think up until he just felt like I shouldn't have rode this Angela train at the finale. And we talked about that. And I did understand his viewpoint. And now I think he really understands my viewpoint. Not saying that it makes it okay.
I don't think he should have did that motherfucking cheer.
Now, that cheers was iconic, bitch. I don't care what nobody say, bitch. And Charles know his ass hurt me.
Him going up to Angela was already messy.
That was messy.
But when he did that cheers, I was like...
Nobody could see. Everybody's mouth was fucking...
Get away!
A gape.
Bitch, like, I was like a turtle trying to put my head into my shell. I was like... And then I don't even, let me tell you, and then y'all, I don't know how they got that edit, because the way there was a camera also directly in front of Marcus too.
Yes.
I was like, oh my God, I hope this camera cannot see me. Why is he saying this out loud? I mean, when I tell y'all, this was gagged.
Alex literally had no idea. And it wasn't like it was a planned thing either. I think we sat there and I had talked to Angela, and Angela was kind of being weird. She was like, "Can you just text me?" She was like,
and he did say this in the moment when I told you guys, when I walked back into Williams-Sonoma and he walks back over to me, because I went to the bathroom, and he walks back over to me, he was like, I don't know if she heard what I was saying, because there is a lot going on. They're cooking, they're filming, there are all these other women, there's the background noise. So he was like, I don't know if she received what I said. I don't know if she really heard me. Because he was like, she said, text me, but you didn't exchange numbers with her at that moment.
No.
And then
so when Kelli came around and said, I'm gonna get y'all together, we're gonna do a cheers, of course I did take that opportunity to be like, well, I have a cheers and I have some tea. And she was like, oh, I love tea, baby, I'm coming right back with this camera crew, so I think some people were playing a little more innocent than it really was, right?
Can we talk about that? Because I do low-key feel like Kelli might have had more to do with this than what she led on to.
I mean, I basically said verbatim, I have some...
Oh my God.
What happened?
Cut the mics. Sorry, guys. Let me tell you. As I said in story time, Housewives is a gang, so every time, you think you're out, they pull you back in.
Yes.
And in the midst of talking about that, something clicked with me that I didn't even put two and two together. And I'm over here like, oh, I think Kelly's so innocent, and Kelli didn't do this maliciously. And then after thinking about something somebody else told me, I was like, bitch, did Kelli have her hand in this too? Y'all, Kelli might have had her hand in this. I don't know. I don't know. But I will tell y'all, there is another cast member. Child, they're going to be a part 6.
It is. Oh
no,
my God.
So no, that's wild. That's wild.
Yeah.
Do you think she would have? Because she has no beef with Angela, though.
I think that. So then you have to look at it. It's so compartmentalized, Alex, because Kelli, I think, initially at the beginning of the season was the fan favorite, right? As far as the newbies goes. And then toward the end of the season, now Angela became the fan favorite, right?
But she wouldn't have known that at that point.
I think she could feel it. If she knew Angela was getting the finale, that's a big deal. You know how these girls think. They psychoanalyze every little thing that happened. This person had so many events. This person's hosting this event. This person's getting the cash trip. This person's getting the finale. These are big deals. You know this.
I don't know.
I don't either.
But I don't know. Let me tell you, if I can get that receipt from my own girl, that might change things. Somebody might have been... Bitch, you might have been set up. Oh my God!
I mean, probably. Let's be honest.
Been set up.
I might have just been a pawn.
I think you were.
That Todd.
Because I mean, think about it. She's the perfect side sniper. Yeah. I just sat here and was like, I don't think she did it maliciously because y'all are both in the same industry. But then thinking about the other information we learned from when we were supposed to do the additional shoots. It would coincide that would make sense that because she knows her and them being friends.
Yeah.
So y'all, child, we gonna be back with more. Because I know I'm talking real cryptic, but
I know.
So this is why I said I just play my cards close to my chest. Because no, I haven't signed an NDA, but of course I don't want to give away anything that would make Bravo upset with me either. Baby, so I don't know. This just got interesting.
Yeah, very interesting.
I gotta go through my receipt. I gotta see what else I got now. I gotta text some people.
But I think just wrapping up, I want to make sure that I know there's been a lot of confusion and chaos around this entire situation. And I want people to understand that, contrary to popular belief on what you saw in the finale, no, Phaedra did not hire me, did not send me, did not make me say anything about Angela and her husband. I think it's evidently clear based on what we talked about, based on the receipts you guys have seen, that Angela was strong-arming and blackmailing me into saying certain things about somebody, whether it be for clout, whether it be for some longevity on the television show. I don't know. I can't speculate as to her reasoning on why she done certain things.
To deflect from the truth.
Well, that's definitely probably the largest part of it. But there's probably other parts of it as well, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I just want to make sure that people understand it also is a television show. Like, these women, like, you only see so much of it. So there's so much you don't see that just adds to all these different layers.
Because, I mean, these things are happening 24/7, our real daily lives. Like, y'all don't even understand how many people have been inboxing me with teas, more screenshots, receipts, talking about other people's husbands. Child, when I tell you, I got somebody that did inbox me 12 times about one of these other housewives' husbands. I'm like, child,
Lord,
I ain't got nothing to do with that. Y'all,
right?
So it's a lot, and you guys only see such a small aspect of it that there's just so much constantly happening, even when cameras are down. So just follow everybody, stay tuned in, keep chattering, and get ready for the reunion so I can tell y'all the truth about Angela's receipts at the reunion.
Do you think she's going to have some receipts?
Probably the ones we made.
Who? Oh, she's lucky that didn't get shown either. Angela's just really lucky. She's had a lucky season. You know what? She should probably go to Vegas.
Well, her luck ran out when she met me.
Oh. Boop. She didn't hit blackjack? It was 22? It bust?
Well, this has been a very informative episode where we learned so much.
Yeah.
Can't wait to post it.
I know.
Can't wait to figure out if maybe Kelli did have more than I thought to do with this situation.
Yeah. It's going to be a lot to unfold very soon.
It's going to be a lot to unfold. Let me tell you, this reunion is not going to break it all down.
Yeah.
But please believe, guys, everything that the reunion don't break down, we will.
Oh, we're going to talk about it.
We are going to talk about it in great detail.
Yes.
So, until next time, cue the chaos.
Cheers.
Cheers.